Hello, hello. Happy Saturday. Welcome, all of you who are joining me live or on demand on our YouTube channel, WorldVia Travel Network. So glad to have you here. I am Joshua Harrell. As always, I am your host. Some might say the chief travel marketeer. Someone might say that, like me. So we can we make that a thing? I don't know. Maybe. Welcome. If you are joining live, please join me wherever you are watching and give us a little shout. Let us know where you're coming in from. If you want to give us a TM, that's what us travel marketeers say when something is good. It is a TM for travel marketeer. So please, you can say anything. Well, I say that. Don't say anything. Say something good, right? Welcome. Glad that you are here. Most Saturdays, if you don't know, I am here at noon Eastern Time to talk about travel marketeering, the practice of selling and marketing and selling your travel products and services through systems. Why do we take that approach? Because as a travelpreneur, you have many hats to wear, not just marketing. But if you don't do your marketing, then things dry up pretty fast. And, also a lot of people just really benefit from good branding, good marketing. I'm just saying, don't block it, just embrace it, as many of you do. It looks like we've got Travel Like You Dream It, a TM from Minnesota. Thank you for joining today. I'm so glad that you're here. You know what? We're going to do some good work. Today is going to be a little bit of a different session. We're going to do an Ask Me Anything session, or an AMA, as I have been told is what it's called for brevity. But we're going to do an Ask Me Anything. In these sessions, I try to have a topic. We try to stay on topic. As you know, if you've been here before, we can talk about just about everything in these sessions. And really happy when you use these sessions as an opportunity to focus in on your business, what you're doing for travel marketing or what you're not doing for travel marketing. Okay, so we always open up for questions, chat, and I just want to say I just saw this Travel Like You Dream It said, oh, and I should share that my name is Melissa. Melissa, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. Those of you, many of you, I do know your business names, but I also don't trust myself because one time when I worked at QVC, I was on air and I knew two Susans. And when the Susan called in to be on air, it said Susan, Atlanta. And I said, "Oh my gosh, Susan, it's so good to see you. I hope something with your son, da 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 da." And when she responded back to me through the live call, she said, "I don't have a son." And then I looked stupid. So I have now forever been, it's the Susan clause. I'm always worried that I'm going to, imagine it's somebody else. So yes, Melissa, thank you for sharing your name. I don't want to. I don't want to mess it up further. Anyway, sorry. I was saying. So we talk about everything, talk about anything, but use this time to let's talk about your business and where you're at. And I am happy to talk about loads of things. I can even show you things. We can go to the webs and we can look at it. But tell me what you're focused on right now. What is the hurdle that you have? And the one thing I'm going to say is the one hurdle that we all have is procrastination, right? It's one of those dragons that is lurking around messing with us. Now, I can't do that. I shared with you guys a few weeks ago that the way that I overcome my nerves when I'm going live, because you might think I love being on stage. I love being on camera. I don't. I am an introvert. I know it's hard to believe, but there's something that I tell myself, and that is it's your job. Get out there and do it, sunshine, right? Sparkle like you mean it. Okay? And when I sparkle like I mean it, this is what shows up. So you're welcome. You're welcome with that. So fighting procrastination, I'm sorry, you just got to look in the mirror and you got to say, all right, come on, I got to do it. I know I got to do it. I'm going to do it. So we can't necessarily talk about mindset, but let's talk about where your roadblocks are with your business in terms of marketing and sales systems. Let's talk about that. Let's dive into it because I guarantee you when you share, and if you look back at any of the past episodes of Travel Marketeering Saturday Sessions, if you look back at the past episodes, you will hear me talking to either members of WorldVia Travel Network or members of the trade industry or of the travel industry. You're going to hear me talking about what their needs are, what they're concerned with, because when they share, obviously they're getting essentially a consultation, they're getting some advice there, but so many other people who are watching can pick up little things from what you're going through. And that, my dear, is priceless. So please share. So drop in the comments what it is that you're working on right now, or what in the marketing world, the branding world, has you stumped. And let's dive into that. So while I wait for you guys to add some of your thoughts, concerns, again, drop it in the chat wherever you are, and I will be able to see it. I want to also give a big reminder to you all if you're new to travel marketeering and you want to connect with fellow travel marketeers, please go to Facebook and search Travel Marketeers, and then you can join our private Facebook group where I have to say I've been very, very excited to see some of the sharing that's been happening in there. There's been questions in there, but I shared last week that Rebecca from Texas, she shared that she started going live once a day. And she shared with fellow travel marketeers. She shared her challenges with it and her wins with it. And at the end of the day, what was the verdict? Those travel marketeers in the group? Well, it was so glad that I did. And I'm glad that she did. And just from my perspective, I want to share with you that I think that we talk about so many different things. But in the session that we did a few Saturdays ago about going live and embracing going live on social channels, that was the first time I could immediately see those of you who tuned in. I could see that you were doing the things. And that makes me feel like a proud human. So very, very proud of you for doing that and for sharing in the private Facebook group. So if you want to join, just search in Facebook. There is a Facebook page for travel marketeering, but you're wanting to look for the Facebook group, the private Facebook group, Travel Marketeers. So excited to have you there. Now let me go back to the chat and see what's cooking up over there. I get so revved up in these sessions that I just start making up my own words. Has that ever happened to you? I want to know. All right, Catherine said, good afternoon from Ohio, and that is a TM from Miss Catherine. Thank you, Catherine, for joining us today, and a TM back at you. Erica at WorldVia, it's the myth, it's the legend, it's Erica WorldVia. She's giving us a TM and happy weekend, marketeers. Now, if you don't know Erica, Erica is our Director of Member Development over at WorldVia Travel Network, and I consider her one of my oracles of travel. Those of you who don't know me, I'm going on my 8th year in travel, and I know enough to be dangerous. I know enough to be dangerous. Everything else I don't know, I go to my Oracle of Travel and I say, tell me something good. And Erica had many, many years of experience in travel and also loves to travel. I mean, let's not I need to say that. I don't know that I've said that before. Erica loves to travel like nobody I know. And I love that for her. I am always amazed at how many places she has been. She has I don't know, packed a backpack and she has done it. She has, I want to imagine that she's swam with sharks. I don't know what she's done, but she's done a lot of things. And I love that because this is such a cool business. And it's even cooler if you are passionate about travel. And she is a passionate traveler, my oracle of travel, and the one who cooks up all these amazing training education programs within the WorldVia Travel Network. Award winning, I might add. Last year, very proud that her accelerator program that she rolled out has won a Travel Weekly Magellan Award. How about that? So people who've graduated from the accelerator have been impressed with it, but impress those industry experts, I'm so pleased. So Erica, always good when I can see you here. And guys, we work all the time together. So for the fact that she gives up a Saturday to come in and join us makes me think we're onto something here, right? I think we are. All right, we got Candace. Candace from Travel Like a Saint from Lake Charles, Louisiana. First time joining, brand new advisor. Well, welcome to you, and a big old TM to you, Candace. Welcome to a Travel Marketeering Saturday Session. It is so nice to meet you virtually, and congratulations on becoming an advisor. It is one of the coolest jobs, professions you can have, and you're in really good company, not only within the travel community, but within the travel marketeer community. So, Candace, make sure you join our private Facebook group, okay? I can't wait to see you there. Matthew has joined us. Matthew Wallace, Columbus, Ohio, and a big TM. TM back at you, Matthew. Thank you for joining. Two from Ohio today. What's going on in Ohio? Oh, it looks like we've got some. Oh, look at these. Oh, wow, wow, wow. I'm sorry. I'm just scrolling through some of the chats. We've got some good stuff to talk about today. You guys are not disappointing me. Just so you know, I did have a topic in the can and ready to talk about it. It is I am putting out as a blog talking about 5 powerful ways to use content pillars to transform your travel agency marketing. So that will be live on worldviatravelnetwork.com in the blog. But I'll also drop it in a link into the Facebook group so you guys can read it. I'll talk about it later. But today we're going to do an Ask Me Anything, and I'm excited about that. So Erica has chimed in here and said, I have swam with sharks. So fantastic. You know what? I kind of knew that about you. Let's see. Matthew, I think this is for Candace, saying, welcome in. I feel like I'm starting over at this. Slow starting, but hoping for progress. Love it. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you for sharing that too. And guys, do you feel like Matthew? Are you somebody who has been doing this, meaning having a travel business? Have you been doing it for a little while? And you're like, it's not popping for me. It's kind of missing a connection here, and I want to do a reboot. Well, guess what? I have a magic wand. It's going to be my blue Sharpie, and zip, you just got a opportunity to reset. That is the beautiful thing. About having a business, you have the ability, you have the power to make small moves that have big impact. And just attending this today is going to get you a little closer. I promise. I promise. You're going to have fun, and we're going to get inspired. Okay. And Erica's chiming in again to say, I absolutely love our industry, our people, and all the amazing experiences I've been given. And I know that. I know that. And I want to give a little background. I think I might have shared this with some of you before, but Erica was one of the first travel partners. She used to work on the supplier side. She's one of the first supplier partners I got to meet, and I knew nothing about nothing. Okay, and I came from cosmetics, QVC. I was used to retail sales and the way you market products, that the consumer products, right? And I would meet with different brands, and I'd say, how do I know what to promote at any given time? Because at that time I was responsible for our retail agencies that were in our family and marketing those travel advisors within that group. And I couldn't figure out what I was supposed to market. And I had a meeting with Erica, and I said, "Can you just tell me what to promote when?" I will. And I joke about this. She has heard me talk about this many times, but I joke because she gave me through the whole year. She's like, and this is when you talk about this because they need to buy this by this time in order to travel within the year or within the next year. And then you don't promote this at this time. She knew it all, and it just like flowed off the top of her head. And that's if you're just getting started, I promise you're going to get there. You're going to get there because you're surrounded by a community of people who, just like Erica, who I met in that first year, are willing to help you accomplish your goals and build the business of your dreams. And that's whether you're a member of WorldVia Travel Network or you're just a part of our online community. Welcome to the travel industry, Candace, and anybody else who's watching, because this is a industry that truly does believe in supporting each other. So you're in the right place. All right. So let me get up. I saw something from Catherine here. Oh, well, Catherine, you got me to scroll back up to this. Let's just say Catherine is saying, I'm working on a letter to local wineries to get a wine trip together. I would like to email it to you this week to see if that sounds good. All right, Catherine. Well, I thought we were going to do something live, but that's okay. We can do some private consultation as well. Catherine, what I would love for you to do is share that email in our private Facebook group, because I'll definitely respond to you there. But I think many travel marketeers would like to see your process, how you get started, and something, guys, I want to share with you about Catherine. She uses AI to help her to supplement her marketing and to get her juices flowing. I I don't want to be the biggest proponent of AI, but I've got to tell you, as a marketer, as a lifelong marketer, these AI tools that you have at your fingertips are super powerful in getting you started. So before, finding the words to market your business was so hard. Now you can leverage AI, get something to work with, and learn through the process. So I just want to shout out Catherine, because I know that she does, and I know that she's gotten some great results from it. But I am very excited, and the reason why I say that, because I would assume that she is using that to build this email that she's sending to local wineries to try and get a wine trip together. So that's why I was saying that. But what I also would like to highlight is, way to go. That is some outbound targeted marketing she is doing to try to get a wine trip going with wineries. Hello, that is awesome. And I'm so excited for you, Catherine, because that is, you're going to, I want you to succeed, but by just even doing this exercise, you are creating that momentum. You're creating that energy. That energy starts to create other opportunities, and it just keeps expanding. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So very excited about that. If you share your email, you can email to me. And guys, if you have any questions, I might be a little slow to respond, but if you have any questions, you can always email me, Joshua@worldvia.com, and I am happy to help where I can help, or point you in the direction of resources that can help. So please don't hesitate. But use our private community, our private Facebook community, because people like Erica, they're in there. Andrea on our marketing team. You've got Evan, our content marketing manager and PR manager. He's in there as well. So you've got loads of people from the WorldVia side, and you've got some amazing agency owners and advisors in there as well. So definitely take advantage of that opportunity. Speaking of Evan and the amazing team that we have at WorldVia, I want to give a plug to our YouTube channel. So if you haven't joined our YouTube channel or subscribed to our YouTube channel at WorldVia Travel Network, please do, because not only can you catch the past episodes of Travel Marketeering there, the Saturday sessions, you can also catch Laura De Vega, our Director of Agency Development. She has on Thursdays, Thursday evenings, she does a live session called Elevate Your Travel Agency. And it is a phenomenal session. Every week it's phenomenal because Laura, like Erica, many years of travel experience. I also consider Laura one of the oracles of travel. So many years of experience there, and that she is someone who she's been there, she's done it, just like Erica, just like other members of our team. And she's put together this Elevate Your Travel Agency these sessions, so she can talk to you about running your agency. There's a little bit of marketing, there's a little bit of sales in there too, but running your agency, those sessions are phenomenal. You can catch past ones up on the YouTube channel over there. You can also find out how to register for live sessions. And our content manager, Evan Greenberg, he's just started some bite-sized content marketing videos on things like, how to create a content marketing schedule or calendar. Lots of little bite-sized pieces. So I highly recommend you going there and getting inspired by all the brilliant minds that have content on our YouTube channel. So that's just a little plug to my friends. I want to make sure that they get there. So my friends to my other friends, right? We're combining groups here. All right. Matthew has one. Let's see. Matthew, he said, I keep hearing about co-branding. How does that work? Can it help drive business? Matthew, that's a great question. So I'm thinking you're thinking of co-branding, co-branded sites. Viking has it. Alma has it. I think Virgin does too. I think Sandals does as well. So co-branding is where companies have or brands have a way for you to create a website, a microsite that is using all of their content. So, and brands are very protective of their content, right? So it's using all of their content, all of their marketing around their brand and promotions, destinations, itineraries, things like that. And the call to action is actually your agency, you or your agency. So Matthew's question is, and it's very easy to get started with them. If you're a Disney seller within Disney travel agents, you can have microsites within that platform, and it's using all their web pages and web content, but the call to action is yours. So you can tie it to your website, or you can have it standing on its own and point people to these microsites. So that's a way you can use it. So they're pretty easy to get access to. The question of, can it help drive business? Let me think of how I want to answer that, because this content, when we talk about websites, we're talking about building, we're taking out space on the web, and we're putting content out there that we hope will be crawled by the search engines and AI bots. And then when somebody's showing that intent to need some of that information or want some of that information, we want these search engines to serve up our pages. So that helps in you getting discovered, okay, out of the, from out of the blue. How do I get discovered? If I'm searching on the web, it's mainly about the content I put out there and if it's optimized and providing value to searchers, right? So that's the way I look at most web content. If you are using some of these co-branded sites, the content on these pages is used on hundreds, maybe even thousands of websites. So what a search engine like Google will do is they'll say, okay, this page, it's there's duplicates all over the web. So the root domain, which is generally the brand's main website, that's going to be the page of truth. So if anybody is searching for the content that is if they're searching for that particular content, they're going to send them to that page. So you're not going to get that discoverability. However, and this is where I like the way you said it, can it help drive business? So it's not going to generate leads per se, but what it will do is do the marketing for you. When you are, say, pointing somebody, maybe you're doing an email to your database and you're saying, oh, you guys want to check out this Viking cruise that goes down the Danube, okay? I am 100% riffing here, so don't call me out if Viking doesn't go down the Danube. I would be surprised if it didn't, but I'm just saying I don't know that for a fact. So, you point them to your co-branded site, so it's still in your house, it's still in your family, it's still connected to your brand. And then they see, gosh, look at all this beautiful information about this Viking itinerary. Oh, this is brilliant. I'm gonna click this button to tell Matthew that I would like to talk about this. So can it help drive sales, drive business? Yes, it absolutely can. And I've seen people build businesses around maybe taking two of those co-branded sites or the brands that have the co-branded sites, and really going all in and sending tons of people there from their database, sending people there, doing social posts that instead of taking them to their website, they take them to their co-branded site. So it's very, very helpful, and it you just need to have your expectations set, right? It's not going to, you're not going to be the number one ranked in search for river cruising because of this co-branded site. You're not. But the credibility that it builds to the people you're sending there, it's priceless. That is priceless. And you didn't have to recreate all that information. And in fact, you can't recreate the information the way that brand can, because they've got certain guardrails around their brand. Images, they've got beautiful imagery that they've spent a fortune on. They've written all the copy. They've got all the details of the itineraries, things like that. It would be madness for you to recreate it. So leveraging that, I think, is brilliant. Once they go over to that site, of course, you are the call to action. Your phone number is there, your email address, in some cases, even your website link is there. But when somebody does go over there, okay, and there's plenty of web pages for them to crawl around in. In order to get them back, that isn't, or if you want to get them back to your main website, that isn't something necessarily built in. They don't all point back to your website. At least the last time I looked at a few of them, they don't. So you poke around in there and it has your contact information, an online inquiry form for you there, but it doesn't say go back to main website because people are going to use them in different ways. I hope that helps. I think the co-branded site is a good tool. And in fact, it's a tool that I don't think many people leverage as much as they could. So let's take the river cruising example as one. If you have a site and you've got category pages in your site on the different category types that you sell, or travel types you sell. You could have something on river cruising and you talk a little bit about river cruising and you say, hey, check out some information on Viking, and you send them over to your co-branded site. Now, there are quite a few partners that have this co-branded site. Think about how you could extend the experience of the users coming to your website by doing this. And you're presenting them an on-brand story about these particular suppliers you work with. And at the end of the day, these suppliers are trying to make sure that co-branded site converts for you, because they're counting on you to bring traffic here and then ultimately close the sale with these clients. So they're not just they're not this isn't the last thing on their to-do list. This is a strategy for them, so they are trying to make it really good. And I love that, because you might not feel like you are a world-class travel marketeer yet, but you tap in some of these brands, and now you've got access to some really good travel marketeering. Yeah. So anyway, I hope that helps. I look forward to hearing how you take advantage of that. All right, Melissa. Let's see. Shifting my marketing and time focus from the travel website and YouTube channel that I did with my husband, Chris and Melissa, to Travel Like You Dream It, my agency. Worried about losing follow numbers. Okay, Melissa, I don't know why I didn't connect, because we just talked about this or you shared on the previous session about going live. I'm sorry that it didn't track for me. So let me get this back on track here. So you've created a YouTube page. It was you and your husband. You guys were creating content, and now the dilemma is, or the next challenge is moving that or rebranding that to your agency name, and worried about losing your followers. So I'm glad that you asked this question. Most people are trying to build a YouTube presence. Here you're essentially transitioning it and moving on. So will you, let's get this out of the way. Will you lose followers? Yes, you probably will. Or not. It definitely takes a concerted effort for you to lose a follower. So you have to really be hitting the wrong mark for someone to say, oh no, I can't deal with this anymore, I'm going to unsubscribe. I mean, I think about some of the things I've subscribed to, and they've gone through different iterations, and I just can't be bothered to unsubscribe. It's only when they really go in a completely different direction that I'm like, okay, no, I'm not gonna stay subscribed to you. So will you, could you? Yes. Do I think it's going to be a mass exodus? No. And I don't have a crystal ball, so don't quote me on that. However, what I would say is, and not knowing about your history with this, but with the channel, but you creating an agency with a brand like Travel Like You Dream It, right? Whether you're an agency or you were a YouTube channel, right? They both work. So I feel like this change just basically is saying, okay, this is what this channel is going to be about. It's going to be about travel. And your name doesn't say anything, or the channel name doesn't say anything that's like, uh, they're going to be selling laundry baskets, right? It doesn't say anything like that. It really stays open to travel. So you're going to be able to create content of all different varieties. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And I think ultimately, I think this is what you were saying, shifting my marketing and time focus from the travel website in YouTube channel that you did to now kind of creating your new home. And I think that's it's just going to make it's going to make so much more, it's going to make more sense to your audience, and it's going to allow them to connect with you in different levels. You can still create great content that gets people excited, and as you move them through that consideration stage to the decision stage, um, you've got a way to capture them, where a lot of YouTubers and people of influence have the channel, but they don't have an outlet to capture. So that's exciting. And I might have been reading into that. It sounded like you were moving it, or it might, or changing the name, but it might be that you're just saying you're shifting your focus. That's going to stay in place, and you're just going to put all your energy over into that. And I'm thinking maybe you're chiming in right now. Not yet. She hasn't yet. But I feel like that either way, it's a good thing. And I've been looking at a lot of YouTube channels and strategies behind them. And what I'm hearing over and over again, and take this for whatever you will. Hold on, let me get a little. Yes, it's Saturday. I went to McDonald's. I did. That's what I do. But the strategies that are in play right now for YouTube, it's very interesting to me, because I always believed, create a channel, put all of your energy into that. I was always preferring it be the human behind the brand, because then that kept the social aspect of it and allowed you to point your attention in different areas. But what I'm seeing over and over again is creating satellite channels around a person of interest or a brand of interest to really get niche down in your content. So I'm not saying go and create a bunch of satellite channels, because you've heard me say this before. Don't try to make a bang on all these different social platforms, because you can't. You physically can't, and do it good, and do it well. I should say, not good. Do it good. You did good. So I'm not saying that the people who I'm referencing, they've got a different purpose with their business, I should say. But for you, that says, okay, I'm going to create content. I'm going to market myself around my travelpreneur lifestyle here. I want it very clear that this is who I am, this is what I do, and it's okay that you've had a channel over here, and now you're going to spend your time on this new channel and build it up from scratch. Or, like I said, if you transitioned it, it's all in the long run. I'm seeing over and over again this is a part of many YouTuber strategies, is to create the channel based on that particular topic, and that is how they're winning. So I have all the confidence in the world in you, Melissa, but I also there's a lot of thought leadership around the death of the follower. And think about the way you're using social media right now, all of you, not just Melissa. Think about how all of you are using social media. I always tell everybody that I discovered TikTok 6 months ago, and now I can't watch regular TV because I just need my content super fast. And yeah, it's really wrecked my life. But the thing is it's serving up so many creators that I am not following. It's based on my interest, right? And I am consuming all this content, and I'm not even liking the videos, and I'm not going in and following the people. I'm just consuming the content. And you know what? The algorithms are going to continue to present them to me because they can see that I'm watching the video, right? So not all the algorithms are the same, but they're all kind of moving in that direction, because TikTok really did change the game. It said you don't have to be a follower or you don't have to have followers to get your content served up to new people. It's looking at the quality of the content and who is engaging with it, how they're engaging with it, and then it's shifting it, because their whole job in life is to make sure that the users of their platform stay on their platform and engage with the content, because that is how they make money. They didn't create a platform just for fun and to make the world happy and for us to watch videos of AI kittens killing chickens. That's what I watched this thing, and it's a whole thing about this cat that wakes up and goes through its morning routine, and then it meets an animal friend, and then at the end of the video, it's cooked it up, and it's like, oh, yum. This is what my world is like now. Thank you, TikTok. Yeah, kind of crazy. But I'm just saying, it's not about the follower anymore. It is always about your email subscribers. So no matter where you play, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, you're going to want a way for people to, and a reason for people to subscribe to your email list, because that is how you market to an audience that you own. Remember, you're just renting these audiences on these social platforms. Okay. So you need to get that email address. Anyway, I banged on about quite a few things there. Melissa, I hope that was helpful to you. All right. Anne has a good one here. She said, everything. That's what she needs help with. Everything. I am brand new and trying to get started. And welcome. And that brand new shine will wear off over time. Just give it time, right? So you need help with everything. So, and that you get a demerit for that question, because everything is all encompassing. And where do I start? But that's probably what you're saying to yourself. Where do I start? So the first thing I'm going to say to you is be known for travel in your network of influence. And by me saying that, I'm saying today, when you leave the house, or while you're in your house and you're FaceTiming a friend or you're chatting with somebody, whatever, tell them you're a travel advisor. I know that that's going to sound so dumb, but so many people don't. They don't. They're like, I've started a business and I'm going to wait until it's super successful and then I'm going to tell the world. Yeah, that's a surefire way to not be successful or reach that level of success in your mind. You need to tell people. And more importantly, those people need to tell other people that you're a travel advisor. And me saying that is not saying you need to talk about the latest Royal Caribbean promotion to the next person you talk to. No, it's stepping into your power. You are now a travelpreneur. You are a travel advisor. Whatever your expertise is your expertise, or whatever you want it to be is something you want to connect to that. But let people know. Let people know. You could even do on your personal Facebook page. You could say, hey guys, I want to let you know I have joined the travel industry and I've started my travel business. And please stay tuned. I'm going to let you know, maybe you don't have your website up. I'm going to let you know when my website is up, or when my social channels are up, because I'm going to need your help. I need to spread the word. And if you know anybody that is looking for their next holiday and they need some inspiration, they need some help, send them my way. Now, does that sound desperate? No, that is not desperate. Not the way I just said it. Didn't it sound like, hey, I'm giving you an update? These people say, hey, y'all, I just got engaged. Woo! Right? Okay, well, that's nice. I am now a business owner. I'm a travelpreneur. That's just as good and maybe even better. I'm just saying I might be better, but I'm just saying, share those updates, because other people are sharing updates like that. You're not, some people say that feels gross, like they're selling and they don't want to put people off. No, if these are your friends and family, you're not going to put them off. It's not like you said, hey, I got a BOGO here, I need you to jump on it now, or I got a Groupon I need you to help me with. It's not that. You're just saying, hey, here's an update and I want you to know I am a travel advisor. And nothing's going to happen overnight, but something's going to change inside. right? Someone's gonna, oh, wait a minute, I'm travel. Ooh, it's coming out of my pores. I'm travel. And so it's gonna for you, it's gonna change the way you show up in the world. But what is gonna happen down the line that you're not gonna be aware of until it happens is you're gonna plant the seed with that person you went to high school with, and that might have been many moons ago, right? And then they hit you up in your DMs months from now, and they say, "Hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I'm Sabrina, and I used to be. We graduated together, and my parents want to take our family to Japan. Okay, and I'm not sure if you do that, but I saw a few months back that you are a travel advisor, and you've been in my brain, and so I wanted to reach out. That's exactly what you want to have happen. And you want at their Thanksgiving, you want them to say, be talking with their parents, and their parents say, "Hey, I'd like to take the family to Japan. I just don't know where to get started." And you want old Sabrina there to be like, "Oh, well, Anne, who I used to go to high school with, she's now a travel advisor." See, this is the magic that happens, but the magic doesn't happen if you play small. You have to show up in the world and you have to say, "I am travel," and it will pay off. So that if you haven't done that already, that's what I would say. The next thing I would do is go and publish a website page. It just needs to be a one-page website to get started. Just something, start carving out a space on the web for your brand, even if you hadn't figured out all the details, even if you haven't figured out your niche. You're going to hear me, you're going to hear our entire team talk about you've got to find your niche because the riches are in the niches, right? You're going to hear that over and over again. But don't wait on publishing your website. Get it out there, stand it up. You can always go back and add to it later. You can always revise it. You can even move the domain if you need, if for whatever reason you decide to change your brand name. You can do that at any point. But that right there is such a critical step in being accessible to the world and open to opportunities. And it's one of those steps in building your brand that so many people don't do until, I don't know, and not until it's too late, because it's never too late, but it is delayed much longer than it should be. So that would be the next step. And when you launch that website, I would make sure you've got a way to send emails. Members of our network have a free email broadcast platform called Email Plus. It's very easy to put a capture form on your site to grab email addresses. And then from that platform, you can send newsletters, promotional emails, things like that. But going back to what I was saying earlier to Melissa, building that email database is so important that you want to make sure that from the very beginning, you've got that on your website. You've got that option to be able to capture email addresses. And then you start from there doing all the other marketing pieces, social media, regular emails, even handwritten notes. I mean, there's so many things that you can do. But to get started, be known for travel and get that website up. Those are and email capture. We're gonna have three things. So be known for travel, website, and email capture. That'll be a great place to get started. And of course, do all the trainings and things. You need that. But some people, and believe me, I get to work with thousands of agency owners and advisors. So I'm not just making this up. I do know this. Many people do all the training first, or they feel like they have to do all the training to build that confidence before they start the marketing. It's going to take time for all your marketing and your branding to take hold. So start that at the very beginning and then do your training, and then it just kind of snowballs from there. All right, and good luck to you. And please keep tuning in here and make sure you're a part of the community. All right. So Melissa this is what I love. Melissa, I'm going to give 3 points to Gryffindor because you are taking advantage of this time, and I love it. And I know that whatever I'm going to read in just a moment, you've got another thing that's going to that we can talk about that is probably going to help not only you but others. So let's tuck in here. So Melissa said, my other challenge is priorities. My daily marketing to-do list is long, and I don't feel confident that I'm putting the most important things first. I love this honesty, this transparency here, because can I get a TM for everybody who's watching this live right now who has a list of marketing to-dos miles long and is struggling with priorities? So let's talk about this a little bit, because I work with a marketing team that supports multiple teams within the company, but also our overall branding strategies. Okay, and their list of to-dos is mighty long, and it doesn't help that every time I'm in TikTok land, I get inspired and I start sending messages. Erica can attest to this. I'm like, oh, I really like this. Boop. Please, let's do something like this. I can. I'm a part of the problem. I am a part of the problem. So I get it. So everybody, let's really break this down. So you have a marketing to-do list that's very long, and physically you cannot do all of those things probably within the time frame you've set, because if you're like me, you wanted everything done last week, so now everything is due on Monday, right? I mean, I think that's just the nature of the beast, right? So I would highly suggest, and this is going to sound really basic, and I never like to be associated with basic, but I am basic when it comes to swirl. I used to work at a marketing agency, and I was around a lot of creatives. I feel like I'm a creative person too, but I also need a little structure, or I can't process. I won't be able. I won't be good if there's too much hitting me at all these different angles. Um, and also, I have a desire to do well. So when all these ideas are popping off, if I'm the one that's supposed to capture it, then all of a sudden I get very overwhelmed. So that kind of adds to it. But the principal, the owner of the agency, would come in, and it would be, I mean, every time he would walk through the room, there would be so many ideas flying out of his head. Some of them I didn't care about, and some of them I was like, oh, that's really good, right? So then there was this anxiety, like, how do I capture this? But then also, I'm trying to do good work. I'm trying to have a good show. I'm trying to do the things. So I termed that energy as swirl, because it's the only thing I could do to describe it, right? So much is swirling around. Now, I had to find a way to capture it, and I did. I captured the things, because some of his things were good ideas on the surface, but when you started to dig in a little bit, not so good. But if I didn't capture them, then I couldn't dig in. And some of them on the surface were bad, but I could tell where he was going with it. And then I'm like, oh, but that's behind that is something good. So all of it was good. It just was very swirly and was very hard to get things done. So the thing that I do today, and the thing that I hope you can do, all of you can do, is look at that list. If you can break it down and just write the tasks on the items from the to-do list, write it on a post-it note, and just get all the post-it notes. You could have a wall of post-it notes, right? And create 3 columns, right? Create a to-do, create a doing, and create a someday maybe column. Okay, so there are probably some things in that to-do list that you've made a couple of dents in, right? So you've done a little bit, but it's not completed, it's not near completion, but it's in motion, right? So put those in the doing, right? So those are, whether it's 2 things, 1 thing, or 15 things, get that there. And then in the to do column, put the things that have to be done. They have to be done. That could be, you have to send an email, a marketing email for a promotion that starts at this date because it's going to expire at this other date, right? So there is a fixed window of time here that you have to take advantage of this. So that needs to get done. That does need to get done, because if you don't get it done, you've just missed it, right? And that's going to mess with your pipeline. So that's a to-do item that definitely needs to get done. And there might be a few of those, or there might be none of those, really. Okay, when it's all said and done, might not be anything. Now, if you have you are big in YouTube, Melissa, so you might have to get a video published. Okay, that is a have to, right? It's not optional. It needs to. You created the content. It needs to get published. So that's a to do. Okay. Then in the someday maybe, that's where you put everything that is, you want to do it. There is no specific set time. It's not already in process, right? So it's something that you just don't want to forget about. You want to, when you have time, you want to work on it, and you'd love it if it could already be done. Okay, we're not saying that the value of it isn't there, but there's nothing that there isn't you're not hard pressed to get this thing done because you've got a time constraint. So someday maybe, and if you're like me, that someday maybe is going to be a massive list. Okay, so it should be, in essence, because you probably collected a lot of different ideas. Like, oh, that's a good idea. I want to do that, right? But again, it's not time dependent, and you don't already have it in process. And the reason why I call it the things that are already in process is sometimes it takes just a little focus to get those things done. It might not be a high priority item, but since it's already in motion, what will it take to get it done? And it doesn't need to be perfect. Done is okay. Done is perfectly fine. Done is acceptable. So, what is it to get it done? What do you need to do? Figure out what that is, and then you can prioritize those that are in the doing column to what you want to do first. But the someday maybe, that again, that could be really massive, and I would chunk that up. Into what type of branding activity or marketing tactic is it. So everything that has to do with my website, I'm going to put there. Everything that has to do with direct mail engagement, I'm going to put in another bucket. Everything that has to do with my email, everything that has to do with social media, everything that has to do with my logo branding, anything like that, I just chunk it, because then you can prioritize those within their different little buckets, right? Because looking at 75 things in your someday maybe list and bouncing back and forth between different either purpose, vehicle, platform, things like that, that's kind of jarring. That's where you can definitely stall out because it's too overwhelming to get through. So chunking that out and prioritizing within the buckets, very, very helpful. And then look at that to-do list now, the to-do list and the doing list. I guess both of them. If the doing has any deadlines associated, then we need to prioritize that to get it done by the deadline. And remember, sometimes we're putting self-imposed deadlines on things that is adding to our stress, because it's perfectly acceptable to have all these marketing to-dos, and all of a sudden you get an inquiry. You're going to drop those marketing things so you can take care of the customer, the lead that you have and the inquiry that you have, and move that through. Because the thing that's going to solve many of the woes in your business is more travel sales. You can say, if I put my new website up, that's going to solve my concerns. Yes, that's probably going to help you get there. But at the end of the day, making money growing your business, growing your sales, growing your top line and your bottom line, that is going to allow you to maybe invest in a new tool that you need, or hire a virtual assistant, or or be able to take a break because you now banked enough that you're like, okay, I can take a little bit of a break here. I want to enjoy the perks of being in the travel industry, right? So, uh, yeah, focus on the things that are going to have the maximum impact in your overall travel sales, and be organized in the way that you are mapping out the things that you need to get done. That is going to serve you well here. I hope that was helpful, Melissa. Let me know if it was. Let's see here. Oh, and Melissa has another comment here. This is the Melissa show. You know what? I know you had a channel with your husband, but now it could be Melissa and Joshua. We're just going to use this Saturday as the Melissa and Joshua hour. Melissa said, TM2, Erica's amazingness. I was bragging about the education WorldVia provides to a friend over coffee last week. I love that. Thank you, Melissa. You know what? We do try to lead with education and information, because not what did they say? Knowledge is power. When I was a kid, the NBC used to have "the more you know," so I feel like we've embraced that here. Let's see. Let's see. Anne said, "Yay! So happy to hear the professionals knew nothing about nothing once in a day." LOL. Yep. Nothing about nothing is exactly what I knew. Let's see. Candace. So, okay, hold on. She's got a big one, guys, and I know you're not going to be able to read it because when somebody puts a lot on here, it doesn't really show up. So I'm going to read it to you. Candace said, since I am just starting out, like just joined this week with WorldVia Travel Network. Yay! Oh, do I have a sound effect? Let's see. Do I have a sound effect? It's a little, that one was a little sad in the applause, but yes, yay, so glad that you joined us. I would love to get your advice for beginners. Top 5 must-dos in marketing when starting. Just for reference, I have beautiful furnished homes, also known as Airbnbs, rent it like a saint. Would like to market to our guests coming into the area specifically for work. Offer to help with flights and rental cars if needed, then offer to help book vacation, maybe all-inclusive adult-only resorts after they finish their jobs here. I love to go to Mexico and go to all-inclusive adult-only resort. I've been quarterly for the last year and a half. What an interesting mix there, Candace. I think that is, I like how you're structuring this. You're taking care of those guests. They're going to be the people that the pool of people that you're marketing to, and inevitably that's going to roll over into you being able to book their vacations. So I'm going to go back to what I was saying to Anne about first be known for travel, get that website stood up, and then email capture. Make sure those are the things that need to get done first. Now, in your case, you have clients already that are, you've got a database that's coming to you, and a database, that's not what I meant to say. You've got leads, you've got contacts that are coming to you from your rental homes. So where I would probably spend my initial time after getting the base marketing my business up, I would look at how you're going to present that value proposition to those clients. So I imagine they're looking for a place to rent. Then they reach out to you. So there's a little back and forth there. So maybe there is a link to a page on your website that explains the services that you're offering to the visitors that come into your city. So maybe you put a little banner in your email signature to say, work with us or work with me for your travel to the city where you live. So think about that, because you want to make sure that that's there. and that people know that that's what you do. And then think about how you're going to position vacations to them, because you can't hit them all at once. You want to take care of their travel when they come to stay with you. So that was your first, at least in terms of your strategy here. That was the first hurdle that you needed to get over. And then you're going to position the all inclusives in Mexico, which you have a great story for. So the fact that you have been doing this now quarterly, that does speak volumes to people who are looking for that type of vacation, or any type of vacation. If there's something you know personally, it's definitely going to work in your favor, as long as they're aware of it. It's not like your secret that you're keeping. So I'd look at then how I would position that vacation travel after somebody has worked with you. Now, I'm just imagining this. If you see me squinting, it's because I'm trying to think about this in the order in which it would happen. So somebody's gonna rent with you, so that's their entry point into you, or they're gonna find out about renting with you. Then you're gonna hit them up with, "Hey, I can take care of your travel to and from here," right? So you got that. So that's kind of happening in that initial inquiry. So how far down the line do you introduce that you do the all-inclusives? Now, it's something that I think some people might say, oh, well, I'll wait a few months to put that in front of my contacts. However, I would challenge that, because I probably need to know on that first interaction that I find out that you'll do my travel to and from your city, that you're doing this combo thing, that I can do this and I book all inclusives. And I'm shorthanding this when I'm talking to you about it, because I'm literally just trying to work it out in my head. But if I know that you do both of those things, then if you hit me up 3 months from now or 6 months from now about, hey, are you looking for a vacation? You've already primed the pump. It's at least in there. It might not have stuck. It might not be a friend of mine, but it's not a foreign concept. It's not like you just pivoted and now you're offering all inclusives, right? That's something, the optics of that I would want to pay attention to. But the thing with having all inclusives in your mix is it allows you to use social channels that you create, your email, newsletters, things like that, your website. You now have something to market year round, day in, day out. So you can have a beachside bliss focus for your content on your website. So at any given time, somebody could find you. They could discover you through searches that they're doing or through marketing that you're doing. So it's not an either or proposition. It's something that is a part of your world in addition to this booking the travel for your rental properties. So I don't know that I gave you an answer as much as I hope I gave you some thoughts on the timing of things and what to do first. It's hard to change if someone knows you one way, say the person that they're renting from. It's hard to get them to think about you differently. It's hard. It's not impossible. It's just hard. So you want to make sure it's a part of your story, even if it's not, even if it's only 10% of the story when they're first interacting with you, and that will, over time, that will pay off. The other thing too is, if anything were to change in your current business model, the fact that you are also building marketing around this all-inclusive focus that you have will serve you, because it's not like you have to pivot and change. It's something that's been there all the time. Your emphasis is now moving over there. So I hope that that's helpful, Candace, and I'm excited for you. I think that's a great opportunity, and I love when. So there's a curse of an entrepreneur. So lean in here, because I'm going to tell you about the curse of the entrepreneur. Is they're highly creative, and they once they start building, they can't stop. right? They're like, oh, I'm going to build this. I'm going to build this. I did this. Now I'm going to build more. I'm going to, and I say that because I did it. I started one business, and before that, it even had a chance to even stand up on its own. I created 3 other businesses, and I thought I would have a music career at the same time. Ho, ho, ho. How many people knew that wasn't going to work out for me? And it didn't. It didn't, because it was hard for me to give enough of myself to bring one brand to life, and it was confusing to my network of influence what it was that I was who I was. So it's really why, like I say, be known for travel, because you want the people in your network of influence to be able to say, "Oh, you know Joshua, he's a travel marketeer." Right? They don't want to say, "Oh, he's a travel marketeer. He's also great at crochet and sells things on the weekends, and he is a musician. He's not a good musician, but he's a musician. He's an artist." Those could all be true, but it's what is landing with your audience. One, you can have all of those things in your life, but if they're seeing different content from you, and it's unclear of who you are today, that doesn't help in building that word of mouth and getting other people to be your evangelist. So, wow, I revealed a lot in that moment, I feel. Do we think that there were some unresolved issues that I might have had there? I don't know. Let's see. Catherine said, so earlier, if you're just joining, Catherine said that she is preparing an email to wineries, or not wineries, was it wineries or stores? Now I've forgotten. See, my brain just can't process. Okay, local wineries to get a wine trip together. So I had said she could email me, or she could put it in the private Facebook group, and I'm going to drop that here for those of you who just joined. If you want to be a part of our community, please join our free Facebook group. It's a private Facebook group. Just go to Facebook and search Travel Marketeers. If you join this weekend, then Catherine is going to drop in the copy, the words that sell, that she's put together for this email to the local wineries. And I'll give feedback, and you guys give feedback too. I think that Catherine would be happy to have some input on that. And Erica is gonna do a little recall here. She said, "TM to Laura's Elevate sessions. I learn things from her every time." See, it's all about learning. It is all about learning. And just so you know, Erica and Laura have known each other for years and years and years, and I love that they are constantly learning from each other. It's a beautiful thing. Let's see. So Melissa, and I'm sorry guys, the chats come in and then I start talking about something, so I miss any kind of thread or through line. But Melissa was saying just about the channel. The YouTube channel will stay, but my husband and I won't be putting stuff on it much more. So I get it. So it's going to be this, you're creating this new channel, which you have already, and that's where your attention is going to go. The content that you guys created is going to live over there. It's going to be an archive. And maybe if you want to come back to it, you can, which is perfectly fine. Perfectly. I go to many YouTube channels that are no longer being updated, and I still find value in it. So I think that's good. Yeah, that does make it clear. So you aren't moving that audience over. You might have some people that are going to follow you over, but at the end of the day, you're building this new channel and delivering on the promise that is you, and that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. I'm excited about that. And I don't remember when I said it, but she said, "Ooh, travelpreneur lifestyle, TM." I like that. And thank you. She said the insight was helpful. So Melissa, again, this is the Melissa and Joshua show. I love it. Melissa said, "Do you have thoughts on using Substack for doing newsletters instead of a regular mailing platform? let's see. Let me tell you my thoughts. So, guys, if you are new to this channel, this Travel Marketeering Saturday Sessions, or new to me, I always say I always have an opinion, and it's based on what I know right now in this moment in time. So do not write it in stone, because the more I know, the more I am apt to change my opinion. So Substack, if you don't know, is a platform where many creators are creating newsletter content that you can subscribe. You can put together a subscription for that content there. It is one that I am aware of, and I know a lot of celebrities are using it. It is one I don't have personal experience with, personal or professional experience with. It's just come on my radar now. I'm starting to see different celebrities talk about Substack, and so then I went over there and created a profile, and now I'm getting notifications all the time about newsletters. So I don't have experience with it. I will say that no matter what, if you use a platform like that, I would still have that email capture within the website with a traditional email broadcasting platform. I think that there's benefits to having just that base email marketing platform in place and that engine running before creating something else. If anything, maybe it's your learning platform, your sandbox, before you move over to something like Substack. The thing that I'm noticing about all of these ways that you can connect with creators is it's starting to create some confusion about which platform's the best. And if this person is using this platform and that person's that platform, now you're making me be in multiple platforms. It's starting to get a little confusing. I think I'm gonna right now at this moment in time, I am there. What is the platform? Why am I not thinking of the Patreon platform? Very, very successful platform for you to become a patron of a creator of some sorts, right? And so that's been around for a while. And now that same style is starting to come over into Instagram. So now you can do a subscription to people on Instagram. And all that's good. I mean, it's, keep on growing, keep on expanding. It's just starting to get confusing to me. Where do I go for what? And am I going to have to be in multiple platforms? So again, I go back to traditional email works so well. I would lean more towards that until you have built up such a high level of delivery on the content on a traditional platform, and then see if moving over to another platform makes sense. That's my thought right now. Next month, I might be asking you, hey, join my Substack. I'm just saying, might be. So thank you for asking the question. Let's see. Connie gave us a TM. Anne gave us a TM. I think Erica gave us a TM. I think this was about when I said give us a TM if you're struggling with your mile-long to-do list. I think, and seeing Erica on there, she and I have mile-long to-do lists that aren't just marketing. And we talk all the time about where the priority goes, but we still get it done. Right? I think there's some strategy there. And Melissa's liking the Melissa and Joshua show. There we go. All right. I hope you had fun. Was this a good travel marketeering Saturday session? I feel good about it. You guys put me through my paces here. I love that. I love that. And Candace said, thanks for the curse portion info also. The curse of the entrepreneur. Oh my gosh, I live it every day because it's still in me, but I'm aware of it. I'm like, ooh, stay away from me, you little entrepreneur curse. The one that says, oh, you know what, I could do this and that and still make money. History doesn't repeat itself at all. It totally does. It totally does. Well, guys, before I close out, I want to put it out to you guys. Is there anything that we talked about today that is something that inspires you to take action in the next 7 days? Is there something that we talked about that you're like, and it could be, it might not be right on the point of what we were talking about, but it might have been something adjacent to it that inspired you? Is there something that's going on, that to-do list that you're going to be organizing, that you want to get done in this next week based on what we've talked about? I'd love going through that to see what inspiration came from these sessions. So drop that in the chat wherever you are watching this, because I will close out running through that. I want to remind you that we have most Saturdays we're going to be live at noon, our new time. So we've now been in the spot for a little bit. I got a message from Laura, not Laura from Elevate, but Laura, who's been on the show before. She said, I know that the 12 p.m. time works for most people. It just doesn't work for me. So I will watch the show on the replay. So I wanted to give a shout out to her. I appreciated her letting me know that, and acknowledging that it's good for most, but she will be watching on the replay. If you want to watch the replay, then please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where it's at, and that's also where you're going to find upcoming episodes. I post those. I schedule those every time I wrap a session, and so you can go over, just go to YouTube and search WorldVia Travel Network, and you will be able to find that. I was just wanting to look here because I think we are good. Talk amongst yourselves while I look at the calendar. I want to make sure that we have one. Yes, we do. So the next one will be next Saturday. I wasn't sure if I was back. So next Saturday at noon, we have a travel marketeering session. So very, very excited about that. And guys, are any of you going to be at Cruise 360 down in Fort Lauderdale? If you are, hit me up. Let me know. Joshua@worldvia.com. I'd love to see you. I'm going to be at the trade show with WorldVia Travel Network and our team. So please stop by and give me a TM in person. I feel like we should have like a special hand clap or a high five type thing. I don't know. Can somebody think about that and maybe do a diagram of it or a photo or a video of it and send it to me? But anyway, we can give some TMs in person if you're going to be at Cruise 360 this week. And then if you aren't, I will definitely see you in the Saturday session. Again, join the Facebook group, search for Travel Marketeers, and you can be a part of that magic. And let's see, Melissa, since it is the Melissa and Joshua show today, Melissa said many things, but for this week, many things to do. But I'll be getting a board to put the doing, and someday maybe with Post-its. You know what? I love that you're going to do a board with it. I actually got because I did all these Post-it notes one time to organize this massive to-do list, and it was so much that I wanted to keep all my work in place, but I didn't realize it was going to get that out of control. So I had them all over my desk, and I went and got a piece of foam core from an art store, like what you would do your science project with, and then I used that to put my Post-it notes on there, and I just do 3 columns: to do, doing, and someday maybe. And another tip that I might give you for if you use your mobile device. I mean, I have an iPhone, so I use the reminder feature in my iPhone. But I've got the normal to-do list in there, but I also created one that I called Someday Maybe. And the reason why I did that is my phone is always with me, and the ideas, things would just pop into my head. And I didn't want to stop everything, write it down on a piece of paper, potentially lose the piece of paper. So my capture device was my phone. But I purposely put those things in someday maybe because I didn't want to I didn't want to get distracted by too many to-dos that didn't actually have deadlines. It felt awkward to have to-dos that didn't have a deadline in there, because then there would be one like pay my credit card bill that I would miss because I overloaded my to-do list. So I purposely put everything in the someday maybe. And subconsciously, I think it also set the tone, or it set my expectations that this is something that I want to do someday. And maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't, right? But it's captured. I'm not going to lose it. And what then I do is go in maybe every month. It's not anything I'm really strict about. And I look at that list. Sometimes I add to it, and sometimes I escalate something. I'm like, okay, you know what? This would make sense for me to get this done before I go on this trip, or before I launch this blog or something like that. So it is I've captured it. I'm not going to lose it, but I can always reprioritize it later, and that has taken a lot of that like stress and anxiety of, oh, I've got to do this week. I'm going to do this week, when there are probably other time-based things that I need to get done this week. When I have space, then I'll go to the someday maybe list and pull something off. So anyway, I'm glad that you're going to do that, and I promise it does work, and it's also a good practice for everybody, for to-dos, not even marketing related, but especially marketing related. I think we all get inspired from different things that we see or different things we know we need to do, and then it becomes like this, it's a chain of disappointment you're dragging around. But it'll work out. Melissa, thank you for joining us today. And Catherine said she will see me at ASTA. So she's going to the ASTA Travel Advisor Conference in Salt Lake City. And if you are going, I don't know if class registration has opened yet, but if it hasn't, or if it has, and you would like to hear me talk about being known for travel, I am going to be teaching 2 sessions on that at the Travel Advisor Conference in Salt Lake City with ASTA this year. That's in May, so I'm excited about that. And if you were there, Catherine, I know I'm going to see you. I know you'll track me down. I know you'll find me. So I know I'll see you, but I hope I get to see all of you at these upcoming events. I'm excited. Anyway, thanks for joining me live, or thank you for watching this on demand. I hope it's powerful. I hope you've got your travel marketeering juices flowing. And you know what? I don't have a secret handshake, but I'm going to give you a little fist pump there. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you real soon. Take care. Bye.